From the director of The Beach House and the writers of Crawl and Dark Feed comes a somewhat successful mix of mystery thriller and supernatural called The Unheard. I'm not 100% behind this film, but there are things worth talking about. So let's do it. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. The Unheard is new streaming on Shudder. It's directed by Jeffrey A. Brown and written by Michael Rasmussen and Shawn Rasmussen. The Unheard tells a very detailed and intimate story of Chloe, played by Lachlan Watson, who caught meningitis at a very young age, which resulted in her losing her hearing. But when an experimental method to regain hearing for the deaf is discovered, Chloe volunteers to be one of the initial test subjects. Turns out the operation is a success, and after a short period of recovery, Chloe is, once again, able to hear. This recovery happens to coincide with plans to sell the summer home Chloe stayed at as a child. With her father coming up in the next week, Chloe moves around the cabin, packing things and going through videos and pictures from her childhood. Just before she lost her hearing, Chloe's mother disappeared, never to be seen again, and Chloe hasn't been back to the cabin since. Chloe returns to the cabin and sees it as the perfect place to recover from her surgery, not knowing that there's a string of missing persons cases mounting in the small town. But while Chloe is on guard from creepers in the woods, she begins hearing messages no one else can, seemingly from her dead mother. Is Chloe going nuts, or is her mother trying to tell her something from beyond the grave? There's a lot of good in The Unheard, so I'll talk about that first. Lachlan Watson is a fantastic actress, and one I will now keep my eye out for in the future. She was great as the twins Glenn or Glenda in the Chucky TV series, but here she's playing a more subdued and serious role. Everything Watson does is unique, even if she's doing the most banal of actions. Her speech, her facial expressions, her movements, all are somewhat odd, as if she's learning to do all of them for the first time. Chloe's hearing loss has made her an introvert, and Watson makes her feel as if she is holding back a tidal wave of emotion that's been bottled up for ages. It's a truly nuanced role, and honestly, it made the movie for me. If there's any reason to seek out The Unheard, it's because of Watson's stellar performance. I also liked a lot of the subtle uses of sound, or lack thereof, in The Unheard. Obviously, a film about a deaf person regaining her hearing is going to incorporate sound effects. But from the muffled sounds heard from Chloe's perspective to the strange electronic voice phenomenon only she can hear, this is a film that really pays attention to what and how you are hearing things. The real issue with The Unheard is that it's extremely overlong. There's no reason this movie needs to be 2 hours and 5 minutes long. Big chunks of the film could have been edited out to make a leaner, more digestible movie. There are characters that get long sequences that could have been completely scrapped. The story goes on tangents when it could have simply stayed the course following Chloe's journey. I understand that this is somewhat of a whodunit film, so a bigger cast means more red herrings and misdirections about who the killer really is. But The Unheard spends a large amount of time setting one person up as the killer, even though it's pretty obvious from the beginning who it is early in the movie. There is also a side thread involving Chloe's doctor, which felt completely unnecessary, and only seems to exist to get the point across that Chloe might be gay, which is irrelevant to this story. Man, I really wanted to like this movie, and there are a lot of interesting things going on with it, but the long runtime really is what killed this movie for me. I'm glad I was able to watch it to see that Lachlan Watson is a superstar in the making, and there are some interesting themes explored involving sounds that occur outside of the range of normal human hearing that I found very intriguing. Both the writers and the director have made films that I really dug, especially The Beach House, which if you haven't seen, definitely go see that. It's far superior than The Unheard. There's just a lot of fat that should have been trimmed from this one, and it keeps me from giving it a fully positive recommendation. It's a shame, but I felt the UNHEARD's runtime was wholly unnecessary.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality.